Chelsea are already making their move to strengthen the club's future ahead of the summer transfer window, with reports suggesting the West London club have reached a verbal agreement with Palmeiras to sign youngster Estevão Willian for a fee that could reach £51.4 million. Chelsea have already secured many of their current crop of players on long-term contracts, with Cole Palmer, Romeo Lavia, Malo Gusto, Noni Madueke, Moses Caicedo and Mykhailo Mudryk amongst the stars with contracts until at least 2030, with Enzo Fernandez on a deal that sees him at Stamford Bridge until 2032. Their amortization tactic hasn't quite paid off over the past 2 seasons, though a recent revival could even see them come 5th against all the odds in the Premier League, should they beat Bournemouth and Tottenham lose to Sheffield United, with European football all but guaranteed. And their long list of stars at the club on 6-plus-year contracts is set to be extended, with the signing of Estevão set to go through in the summer, after his rapid rise from the youth ranks in Brazil. The report from The Athletic states that Chelsea have reached a verbal agreement for Estevão, which will see them pay €34 million, before another €23 million, both at Palmeiras and at Stamford Bridge. Estevão will move to the Blues in 2025 once he turns 18, making it 11 months at Palmeiras before he flies over the Atlantic to link up with his new teammates, a superb deal given that he would likely struggle for game time regardless of age status if he was to move to Chelsea immediately. Palmeiras are one of Brazil's biggest talent factories, evidenced by their bringing through of soon-to-be Real Madrid star Endrick, who broke through the ranks at the São Paulo-based outfit 2022, before Real administered a deal for him before the turn of the year. Endrick is a year older and moves to the Spanish champions in the summer. Estevão has reportedly been followed by Chelsea for a number of years, and with the club seeing him to be on a similar level of talent to Endrick, it is certainly a signing to watch in the coming years. Chelsea's current crop of wingers includes Palmer, Mudryk, Madueke and Sterling, and so it is hard to envisage where he would fit in, other than a move away for Sterling, who is much older than the other trio. Palmer is a player that Chelsea categorically won't be dropping, after he won the Premier League Young Player of the Season award, and Madueke and Mudryk are works in progress who have, on the whole, improved this summer. Sterling seems the most likely, but is an experienced Premier League winner and England international. His experience could be vital for the Blues as their rebuild continues to take hold. Chelsea have yet to rule out a move for Roberto De Zerbi, as they work their way through the club's 4-man shortlist to succeed Mauricio Pochettino as manager. Telegraph Sport revealed on Thursday that Enzo Maresca, Kieran McKenna and Thomas Frank are on Chelsea's 4-man shortlist, with the club reviewing all 3 candidates. It has not been confirmed whether De Zerbi is officially the 4th unnamed manager on Chelsea's list. But it is clear that the Italian has not yet been ruled out, although at this stage sources see him as an outlier in the race to succeed Pochettino. Unlike Leicester City's Maresca, Ipswich Town's McKenna and Brentford's Frank, De Zerbi is a free agent after leaving Brighton. By mutual agreement at the end of the season, it is understood that Brighton will still have to pay around £5 million in compensation from any club that signed De Zerbi, much cheaper than the £15 million he would have paid while still at the club. De Zerbi will have to show he can work within Chelsea's club structure, alongside sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, to have a chance of getting the job ahead of Maresca, McKenna and Frank. The 44-year-old expressed his disappointment with the Brighton model last season and is seen as a challenging figure in football, even if his attractive style of football management is in line with Chelsea's own ideas. In his first season at Brighton, De Zerbi led the club to Europe and finished 11th in the Premier League table that season. There is no clear favourite to succeed Pochettino at this stage, and Chelsea are expected to hold further talks over the post and candidates over the weekend, to try to agree an appointment before early June. Maresca, McKenna and Frank all have support within Chelsea, and it is understandable that all 3 managers would be interested in the possibility of a move to Stamford Bridge. Director of Recruitment and Talent Joe Shields worked with Leicester City manager Maresca at Manchester City, when he managed a squad that included Cole Palmer. Chelsea staff have been monitoring McKenna's progress for some time, while incoming tackle specialist Bernardo Cueva has worked closely with Frank at Brentford. De Zerbi is well acquainted with Sam Jewell, who joined Chelsea from Brighton earlier this month as head of global recruitment, Mykhailo Mudryk, who played under him at Shakhtar Donetsk, and record signing Moses Caicedo. Maresca's buyout clause in the Leicester deal is believed to be around £10 million, more than double that of McKenna's Ipswich Town. Frank signed his final Brentford contract in 2022, adding to his previous £3 million buyout. McKenna is also in the hunt for Brighton and joins Frank on the list of managers being considered by Manchester United as a possible replacement for Erik ten Hag. Chelsea's chase for Napoli striker Victor Osimhen claiming that manager Mauricio Pochettino's departure does nothing to discourage the Blues from keeping the Nigerian as their main target this summer. He adds that Chelsea are willing to pay the centre-forward slightly more than what he earns at Napoli, which is known to be €295,000 a week. Capology. Apparently Chelsea officials know they need to make a huge investment to strengthen the attack, and they see Osimhen as their main target. He's already given his informal approval to a move, and is just hoping that the Blues can agree a deal with Napoli. There have been many months of contacts between clubs and between Chelsea and the player, and despite PSG's interest, it feels like we could have a deal if we're willing to pay the eye-watering sums involved. Most of this is old news, but what's truly fascinating is the little detail about Osimhen's potential wage. To us, that has always been a major issue when debating whether he actually would come to Chelsea. Even if the club were willing to stump up the €130 million it would take to sign him, the wages would be a huge issue. The club's stated aim is to bring the wage bill down, and while they can certainly afford a couple of superstars, they've been seriously stung by the €325,000 a week deal they gave to Raheem Sterling as almost their first move after taking over. Unless Sterling leaves unexpectedly, despite what this article says, it's very difficult to imagine Osimhen getting the kind of crazy money it would take to get him to sign. Chelsea will clearly be looking to sign a new striker come the summer, when the window opens, but they are also being linked with many other names recently, with one report recently claiming Chelsea will rival Arsenal for the signing of striker Benjamin Sesko of RB Leipzig. Sesko would be less than half the price of what Osimhen would cost Chelsea, and with the circumstances of FFP and PSR looming over clubs right now, surely it would be wiser for Chelsea to go for a cheaper option. They have always seemed to really like and love the dream of signing Osimhen though, so this story continues to bubble up. Court Offside have the exclusive this week, and they claim that regarding possible incoming transfers for Chelsea this summer, talks for Napoli marksman Victor Osimhen are proceeding, but at a slow pace. The Nigerian striker, who will leave the Partenope in the summer, has always been considered as the main target for Chelsea. The Leicester City boss looks set to be named as Chelsea's new manager, imminently after Mauricio Pochettino's departure. With a fresh face in the dugout, it's expected to be yet another busy summer for the Blues after the arrival of Enzo Maresca. While Chelsea have plenty of work to do in terms of sales, they are already lining up moves for the summer window. Indeed, The Telegraph claimed on Tuesday that they are one of a host of sides eyeing a move to sign Leeds United's Crescencio Somerville. The Dutchman has caught the eye under Daniel Farke at Elland Road, and after Leeds missed out on promotion, he's expected to receive plenty of interest this summer. Of course, Maresca will be familiar with Somerville after facing the winger in the Championship with Leicester last season, and the incoming Chelsea boss already praised the Leeds star ahead of a clash against his side back in November last year. Ahead of Leicester's 1-0 defeat to Leeds at the King Power Stadium earlier in the season, Maresca highlighted the threat of Somerville. "We know they're good in transition, but they are not only good in transition," Maresca told Leicestershire Live. "Somerville, James, Nonto, they are very quick, we need to be careful. More than ever, we need many passes before we attack. If we attack quick, they will attack quick. We don't want that." After an impressive campaign in the Championship with Leeds, it's no surprise to see Somerville on Chelsea's radar. The Dutch forward had a hand in 31 goals in 49 appearances for the Whites and was unfortunate not to earn promotion. The 22-year-old even picked up the Championship Player of the Season after a dazzling campaign under Farke. According to Football Transfers, Leeds will demand a fee worth around £45 million to sell Somerville this summer. From Chelsea's point of view, their move for Somerville or another forward could depend on Raheem Sterling's fate. It's no secret that the Blues will have to offload a few of their stars over the coming months, and shifting Sterling could allow him to move for Somerville. Chelsea are keen to move Sterling on this summer, but the forward wants to remain at Stamford Bridge.